Prolific Show. I'm Prolific B. I've got two wonderful young youths here, and they have a podcast of their own. And this evening, we've got some issues which affects the youth. And with them, their podcast is all about empowering youth. It's about sort of like touching on things that affect you guys. So now, I'm going to let Zach introduce herself. Okay. And then give us a synopsis of what she does. Yes.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Zaki, aka Zaki Christina on the show. So this is my friend here, Shay. So the person that I've been doing the podcast with. We've been doing it for about almost a year now, to be honest. Yeah. Apart from that, I work full-time as an ambulance support worker, hairdresser part-time, and obviously this part-time as well.
Yes.
And yeah, I just turned 26, so.
Oh, nice one. You know, you'll get to a time that you didn't want to say your age, but we keep moving. See, yeah. So, young guy, keep going.
My name is Shay, aka Downtown D1. 25 years old over the last couple months.
Oh, wow.
I work with patients that suffer from alopecia and cancer, and I cook as well.
Oh, that's nice.
I do the Cake and Custard show with my co-host.
Okay. So, yeah. Oh, that's wonderful. It's nice that when I called you guys, you guys came. Yeah. But you know, one of the things that I always say is, amongst the youth, you guys have been through so much. And sometimes when I look at, I always say that things has transpired in your lives that is desensitized you, okay?
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that made me call you, because you and I, we've had some raw debates.
So I know.
Yes. And one of the things was that child queue. And when I Googled it, I thought it was something that actually happened 2022, not happened in 2020, yeah? So now, I want your views on it, and I'm going to start from you. The ladies first.
Of
Ladies
course.
first.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow, you put me on the spot. Oh
I
my God.
I know. Now, when you first heard it, how did you feel?
When I first heard it, I think I came back from Cameroon like a week, and when I started, my friend, I was on the phone to my friend actually, and she was telling me about what was going on. I was telling her to catch me up on everything, and she was like to me, Saki, do you know this happened to someone in school or whatever? I said, what happened? And she was like, someone was strip searched, and they were asked to remove their sanitary towel, and that's because they smelt cannabis or something on her or whatever. That's the first time ever for me that I've ever heard anything like that. First of all, with it being a young girl.
Yes.
Second of all, with her being searched without any consent from her parents.
Yes.
Third of all, it being females. Usually, obviously, females.
Where did it happen?
Where did it happen?
Where did this incident happen?
Hackney.
What I'm saying is, where did it happen? Where? Was it in a school?
Oh, no. Okay, where? Okay, no, it was in the school. It was in the school.
Because I want us to put a narrative.
Yeah. It happened in school, so I heard. But that's one thing about even the strip and search, which I'm a bit confused about, and I was telling Shay not too long ago, because usually when they're supposed to do that strip search, they're supposed to either take you back to the station or conceal you in an environment where it's closed off so everyone cannot see.
Precisely.
But people are having debates on whether it was still appropriate to have, you know, her being strip searched there at the school, which I don't know. I don't know in which conditions they were doing that, but the whole scenario sounds like a madness. It sounds really, really crazy. For me, I feel like that situation was over-exaggerated, especially to the point to where they asked her to take off their sanitary. I'm really disappointed, actually, if I'm honest.
Me, I feel like, obviously hearing it, I heard it when I was at work.
Yeah.
I didn't know too much about it, and I didn't actually read too much into it, just because, if I'm honest personally, I'm not necessarily surprised.
When you say you're not surprised, please.
I feel like there's certain things that happen amongst black people being the victim in that situation, or like police specifically targeting black people or coloured people, specifically black people.
I was surprised, you know.
I feel like I wasn't
surprised. Even the things like that happen. The sanitary bit where they asked her to remove it was shocking for me. Even if we're talking about race, that I have never heard to do with race.
Real, it's foul, and it's uncalled for, but it wasn't astounding to me when I heard. Obviously, it was more like disappointing and hurting at the fact that, for one, this is a 15-year-old and it's a young lady, it's a young girl that her innocence right now has probably been stripped away. You know, she didn't have a choice. She clearly felt overwhelmed in the situation. There was no support. Teachers didn't support her. Students were probably not able to support her. Like, there's so much that goes into it that for this individual, this young lady, it's almost like she's been victimized and her innocence has been taken away from her. And personally, I thought it was 2 male officers. To find out that it's 2 female officers.
It can never be 2 male officers, yeah.
But to me, that's also a lot more shocking, just because it's like, do they not have any type of decency or respect and some kind of relatability at the fact that they're women?
Yeah.
And this is now happening. That's what bugs me. So.
Okay, you know when you said it didn't shock you, it actually shocks me that you have that sense of, I don't know, I was really thrown back.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Because how can, is it, you know, you made a comment that, oh, you don't know what environment. I don't care what environment it is. Even when a kid has been arrested, you have to have your parent with you.
This is true.
And when you go to school, you're supposed to be protected. The school is supposed to protect you. So when you say it was uncalled for, I don't care in what setting that it was, because as a parent, I expect that when the police comes into the school, when the kid is late from school, what do? They phone your parents.
Yeah.
The reason why I say the setting matters is because I feel like that's part of the protocol in terms of the strip search, in terms of they're supposed to protect her identity, her, like, just her as a person. That's something that they're supposed to protect when they're doing something as intimate as that.
Goes against safeguarding measures.
Yeah, it goes with safeguarding.
Thing.
But you know what? For me,
like the child protection aspect of it.
Child protection.
Because they're supposed to know better.
But then see, even when it comes to this, and that's where I say, like, it doesn't shock me, is because to me, all of that, like, safeguarding and child protection, it's like, it's more so, I don't want to say it's necessarily a thing whereby they pick and choose, but it's like, in terms of race, I feel like one race favours from it and another race doesn't. I don't feel like we're protected. I've never felt protected by the police anyway. But that being said, it just doesn't surprise me, just because I feel like there's more so like favoritism when it comes to child protection and the Child Protection Act that exists amongst safeguarding.
But do you know why we still feel like we're in that same position, that same mode? Because I feel like there's not a lot of us, going into spaces like that to where we can affect change.
Which
we're
is true.
so scared by the fact that, okay, this has happened, but then us people as a community, we never do anything about it. We just have it as a conversation, and then we carry on with our day. We just carry on going to work, we just carry on, and it's the same cycle over and over again. Everyone's all about the complaining.
Which is true.
But they never ever do anything about it. They never report it, they don't do. So it's like, even though people are complaining so much about it, for me it's like, what are you doing to affect change? Are you going to go into these places, these departments? Are you know how you said that politics as well, that's something that you're doing? Are you going to try and insert yourself into places like this? Because for me, if you're not going to, then
that's the thing.
Just keep it.
Let's keep it shut. Because the thing is, I'm looking at it from a perspective of this has been going on for generations. And when you say that, when I say that, I'm actually going on the tangent where you see black boys going, you get stopped. You see a white kid effing off and doing all this stuff. And then you, the black kid, even trying to remove your body, all of a sudden you're tackled to the ground.
Yes.
You said you were not surprised. I want you to give us an instance, because every black, you know something, do you know what really hurts? It's every black boy that has come on my show has always had that experience with the police. So when they say they're working with the youth, tell me what your experience is and how they can change the narrative.
My experience as a black male, I feel like it's been daunting from birth, to be honest.
When it's a daunting from birth, go ahead.
Well, first and foremost, my dad was taken away because of obviously the police as well.
Oh, okay.
But I don't want to dive too
Oh,
deep.
no,
into that, but
don't go. Yeah,
yeah,
but that's his business. You do yours.
and
Yes.
that's one thing. And secondly, I feel like growing up, just seeing certain things and having to navigate in a certain way without freedom, because of the fear that I could be stopped by police or I could be attacked, was always something that was apparent to me. So,
From what age?
I'd say initially being conscious about was probably 14, 15.
Okay.
But I remember an experience where I was in university with my friend, and they were doing like a stop and search, but they were stopping cars.
Yes, yes.
And it's like they had an agenda. They were looking for a specific type of person.
Okay.
And I just recall being on like the strip, the place we call the strip, where there's many shops and stuff like that.
Where was this?
In Coventry.
Oh, okay.
And they were stopping a lot of black people, a lot of black males, a lot of black women as well, and they were just allowing like other races to drive by. And I recall saying to an officer like, this isn't fair. Like you're stopping a specific type of person.
And you could see.
Yeah, of course, and I could see it. And when I addressed it, his approach was like, "Oh, just move on. You don't know anything. You don't know anything." And then
You're very dismissive.
Very dismissive. And then my response was, "How can you tell me I don't know anything? I'm a black man." Well, I didn't say I'm a black man, but I'm about to get a degree. Yeah. And then he was like, "Clap, clap, clap. A black man with a degree."
Oh wow! Oh, that was so condescending, wasn't it?
And then he said, "Like that means anything."
Oh,
and
wow.
to me, in that apparent moment, in that specific moment, it was clear to me that realistically, it probably doesn't to them.
Which that is very true.
It doesn't, because it's like I'm always gonna have these struggles. I'm always gonna be put in a box.
You're always going to be stigmatized.
Exactly. And you know, even with amongst the workplace, feeling as though I have to speak in a certain manner, dress in a certain manner. I can't grow my hair because I'm quote unquote a thug. Or if I dress in all black because black is most comfortable to me and I put my hood up because it's comfortable,
yes,
I'm a thug.
Oh, wow.
When I'm walking behind, and this happens a lot right now as well, when I walk behind a woman on the escalators, her holding onto her bag tight as if I'm gonna rob her.
Oh, wow.
When I'm just going to work, like all these different things.
So it's kind of like, it makes you always alert.
Yeah.
So it's like and the funny thing is, any little movement, it's kind of like, instead of you to feel comfortable walking around, you're actually trying to scope where you are.
You have to be very conscious. Like I don't walk behind a woman that looks 35 plus, a white woman that looks 35 plus. But that's just a conscious decision, because at the end of the day, anything can happen, and I'm gonna be the villain here.
Yes.
I'm gonna be the one to make look like.
You know when you said that, it reminded me. My mum said when they came in at 60, it's like they were brought up that when you see an old person fall down, you help them up. And I remember my mom said one of her cousins got sent to jail, got beaten up because an old lady fell. That time it used to snow. And then she picked the woman said, he did it. And I'm telling you, my mom said since then. So when you say this, it's like it's happened. And it continues to happen. So Zaki, give us yours. How does that make you feel?
I feel like it makes me feel very exhausted. Because to know that things are not changing is worrying. I thought, like, you know when you think that in your head that some things have progressed for a short period of time, you'll think about that for 2-3 years. There's 2-3 years that nothing has happened.
Yes.
And then you hear something like this again, over and over and over again. Like, there's many times to where when I speak to some of my male friends and my brother, it's where they tell me that they've been stopped and searched like for no reason, and I'm always like so conscious, and sometimes I'm even trying to like talk to my brother and tell him how to move, how to operate, so that they don't do anything and they don't exaggerate, the situation or whatever it is. But why should someone have to do all those things, tell you how to move, make sure you don't respond aggressively because you don't want to fit the narrative, you don't want them to use that against you and all that kind of stuff? But I would say that I feel like we would have been on a much better level also if some of our black boys were helping this situation, because there's this narrative that's been put out there already.
Yes.
And I do feel like there's some of our black boys that are still enabling that same narrative, which
I agree.
I feel like is unfair for the ones that
I'm
don't
not.
do anything at all, to get stopped and searched for no reason. Because obviously this foundation is already there.
Precisely.
This has been there for a long time.
Yeah.
But what you should be trying to do now
Yeah.
is wheel away from it, steer away from it. Do you see what I'm trying to say? Which I know is very, very hard. But at a point to know that where you do get stopped and searched, they will
Yes.
find nothing on you. You give them no
No,
reason
but,
to.
but I know when you said that, now then it goes to that this girl, this child Q, whereby they smelt.
Which was
And
fake,
then they
yeah.
literally,
Which was false.
because you can be in a room that somebody is smoking,
Yeah.
or probably the parent was smoking.
Yeah.
It was in her uniform, so she came to school and she
Yeah.
had it.
Yeah.
You see, and then she did it. She actually got searched. So I'm going on the tangent that it's kind of like it's 2 and a half a dozen, because it's like, and I do understand, and that's why I blame parents. But there's certain parents that are enabling their children
Yeah.
to be what they are.
But you know, all these things start from home.
Well, I agree.
All these things is rooted from the tower, is rooted from home. Those single parent households to where like, or even if it's not single parent, or even they can have marriages, but broken marriages, broken
Yeah.
homes, all these things to where parents are working back to back, back to back. They don't know what their children are doing. They're just left outside all the time. It starts from those things. And then you start wondering why your child goes astray, or why they're doing the things they're doing outside. And you get so confused, but they've been influenced outside. They've been groomed outside.
But all of this essentially stems from somewhere. If it starts from home here, then it starts from home elsewhere.
Elsewhere
which is
as
back
well.
home, which
Yeah,
is
yeah, yeah. It's a
Africa.
chain. It's a chain.
And then
Okay,
if
when you
start
say it starts
home
from
there-
Africa,
Yeah, if we take it back home here, we have to then take it back home to Africa, because they
Africa.
came here for a better life.
Yeah.
And then why did they come here for a better life? Because they were stripped of that better life back home,
which is true.
which was taken by who? The white man.
Yes.
Like, all of it stems back there. However, of course, I feel like we need to take a lot more accountability now.
Thank
but there's a lot of things that occur, and if I'm honest, when it comes to parents, I understand, because they came here as
On a mission.
on a mission that they wanted to provide a better life for their kids. And what happens is that they work so much that their kids are often left to the streets and to to wherever, because they're trying to build something here.
Is it when you say that? Sometimes I disagree. My parents came here to study. Yeah. There's certain parents that I know. Most parents, when they came here, they were educated. They came here to come and study, and to go back. But with me, I still feel that there's no excuse. That most of the monies they make, they take it back home, and they build big mansions, and they don't never sleep in it.
Yeah, I agree.
So at the end of the day,
That's true.
It's like a double-edged sword, though, because it's like they make the money here and they put it back home, and you know their plan is to rebuild back home. I don't know why they do that, as if they're there when they're not there. Their kids are here.
I don't know why they do
The plan
that.
is to always go back.
Yeah, but even back home, they're taking your money and
100%.
nothing's being built.
That's
but
it.
here, it's like another struggle, because you have to do so much to actually acquire all of these things.
Precisely.
So it's like, where do we
Find a balance.
Yeah.
But they don't know that until they get here.
But I feel
That's
like
the thing.
a lot of them are ignorant. They don't want to
No,
know.
yeah, they're ignorant. They're ignorant, which is true. But you have to
I
see
love this.
like they've come from a world that is completely different
Of course.
from what they're used to and what they know. It's going to take a longer time than usual, maybe years, probably even for some people 5 years to a decade, to try and figure out the system, understand it properly, learn English properly, all that kind of stuff.
listen
But
to
you
me
have
say,
to be willing to do the
5
work,
years,
though.
Of course, but 5 years. Okay, how old are you? You're 26.
Yeah.
I'm 25. Cool.
I'm
I'm not trying to say age. I'm not trying to say age, but what I'm
Because
trying
it's all still the same minute, 25 years
yeah,
later.
exactly. Like a lot of them have kids that are a lot older anyway.
Yes.
And 25, you've had
They're still the
25 years
same.
to acquire this
Some of
knowledge.
Yeah,
them have
it's
been here
true.
30 years. Some of them have been
That's
here.
what I mean. They don't
They don't
want
wanna
know.
learn
A
the
lot
Because
of them
even
don't.
my parents, when they came by boat. They didn't come by
came by boats.
blaster light. They didn't
Really?
come by the plane.
Wow.
Yeah.
So 3 months. So they're saying that the thing is, I don't even want to go there. But my point is, when you're talking about that, then how do we change the narrative? Because
We have to change it.
So how do you do that?
For me, everything is a conversation. You know?
Yes.
I've always said, and I've said that to him as well. For me, everything is a conversation. I feel like pointing out certain things and not being afraid whilst
Yes.
doing it. You have to be You have to
honest.
be vulnerable. Yes, you have to be honest and you have to be vulnerable. You have to be ready to challenge
Yes.
your parent in some situations. When I was young,
But
I'm always
challenging
telling
is
you-
different from disrespecting.
Yes, but then they need to know the difference, and you have to tell them what the
They
difference
don't
is. You have
understand the difference.
no, you have to show them.
Of course.
Especially with age, as we're maturing, we're not young kids anymore, you know.
But see, I agree. However, I'll be honest. Coming from a Nigerian household, Yoruba specific,
It's so Yoruba specific.
like
Yes.
you challenge, you're violating, you're disrespecting me.
Yes.
It's very hard. I'll be honest. It's very hard. Luckily, my mum has kids old enough to show her love whilst challenging. But a lot of parents, a lot of Yoruba parents and African parents as a whole,
They're just
struggle.
very narrow-minded. But you know,
Very.
can I tell you something?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff, although it's very hard to do it, but you know, a lot of it comes down to delivery as well. Understanding who your parent is,
Yes.
and knowing them in their soft
Yes.
soft moment, catching them at that
No,
moment.
but it's the delivery. The delivery is the important
It's
part.
important thing.
But I still understand what you're saying,
Saying,
because the
yeah.
Yoruba part is a bit it's a bit on the same parallel line as the Ashanti side, whereby I remember my dad used to have this thing whereby he says a grown up doesn't lie. I'm seeing that man lying, I'm thinking that you're lying.
Yeah.
And that man is like going for me. And the thing is, as you say, and that's what I said to you when you came, that parents talk at us. They don't talk to
Yeah.
us. They don't realize that you've got a brain. So at the end of the day, I still go back to the narrative. So then because I know you say we're going to talk, but the person has to be able to hear you.
They do have to be able to hear you. Do you know the reason why I'm only saying this? Because I've tried this
Yes.
a couple times with my mum.
Okay.
And it's not saying it's going to work for everyone, but it's gotten her to the point of now, because I was strict from the very beginning at a young age.
Yes.
But I had to do it from a point of where I always got her at a point to where she was soft. So where she was
Okay.
cool, where there was no
So you
tension.
broke her down, yeah.
Yeah, I broke her down, and I tried to just get her at those moments. Like, for example, she used to tell me, I want you to only do nursing, this lawyer, or nursing stuff, because that's what her friends will tell her. She doesn't know any better. You come here, you go to school, that's what you're also doing. You know what I'm trying to say? And if you're coming from a place to where that's only, like, those are the only professions to where, you know, they're good and you don't have stuff like art or creative stuff there, that's all they're going to be proposing to you every single time. I said to her, I can't do that and I don't like it.
Yes.
And the results showed.
Yes.
Came to science, I didn't know how to do the science, it wasn't working for me. So then she had to think in her head, this one, it's not working. And in my head, I was saying, I'll show you that it's not working, because I'm not going to...
Did you do it deliberately, or
I didn't do it deliberately.
Oh, okay.
There wasn't strength in the subjects anyway, but I didn't try any harder because I was forced to do it at the same time. So because that was the situation, after school, she just let me do what I wanted to do. And even from that, she didn't pressure my little brother to go to university. She just allowed him to play football, and she sat down with my brother and say, this thing, I want to see where you're going to go, and I'm going to let you flourish and do what you want to do.
So it's like, because of what you did,
Yeah.
it actually made an impact whereby she
Exactly.
actually listened. So, but with you, Shay, how is it going so far? Because I know. The reason why I say how is it going so far is the fact that, we just spoke about it. That with me, I feel that when your kid is younger, that's when you give them the chance to make the mistakes.
Exactly.
So that down the line, they'll just pick up from that and then keep it moving. So, how's it going so far?
How's it going?
How's it going in
regards to you being assertive and trying to map your way through?
It's
How we are
going.
culturally.
It's going.
See, culturally, growing up, it was a lot harder because I felt like I never had a say. And it was a lot more difficult because, I have an older sister and an older brother, but they also felt like they never had a say. So it was a struggle. But I feel like it took for one of us to kind of go against the narrative.
Which one did?
My oldest brother.
Oh, okay. How old is he?
28.
Okay.
To go against the narrative and just create a lane for himself.
What does he do?
He's an engineer at Google, but...
Oh, okay. Nice one.
But before that, my brother was just... He was just my brother. Like, he was out here just doing what he wanted to do, really and truly. Yeah, he had some conflicts and stuff like that, but that's very much normal. I feel like for me, it was more like...
Did it pave the way for you? Or
it paved the way a little bit, yeah. It paved the way just because he had gone through it. So now if I go through it, you now understand. Now, because obviously being the first son for him, it was headache. But for me, it's a lot easier.
I think
right
being
now,
the first child.
being the first child,
is a lot of
The expectations
headache.
are...
yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
You get all the bad treatment.
Definitely.
You get all of it.
It's true, but
No, I think all the expectations.
The expectations,
are
yeah.
because you're the trial child.
Or expecting, the trial child. Yeah.
When you say trial child, in what sense?
Child. Your child, because they don't know what they're doing.
Oh, okay.
They're just
So
figuring
like
out
for
along
the
the
practice
way.
run.
Yeah.
They're just freestyling.
And then the second and third,
Yeah.
you have a bit of
freestyling.
experience.
Yeah.
You know what you're doing.
Yeah, the second one, you know. No, I don't think it's wrong though, because it's like when I have my first child, I won't know what to do.
Yeah.
But when I have my
No,
second
trust
child,
me, you would. You know why?
Think so?
Because of your experience, that is going to sort of like guide. You're not going to be that much a dictator. You're not going to be that much of. You're going to be a bit more freestyle and a bit more because you know what you've been through.
Yeah, true.
You see, so you would know.
Yeah, true.
You see.
But yeah, right now I feel like I've been able to create a space for myself and my mum where we can have these conversations. Where
What about your dad?
My dad's not around.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I think for me that worked. I don't want to say it worked out for the better because I don't know what it would have been like if I did have a dad. But I feel like with my mum being there, I'm able to realize her soft spots, as you said, and the conversations that I can have with my mum about just career, about the things I want to do. It's a lot easier now just because she's seen me follow her route. And it doesn't necessarily work out for me. And you can see in a child when they're happy and when they're not happy.
Which is true.
So going to school and doing certain things, it was okay, but it's not what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Okay.
It's not something that I feel like takes any value away from me or adds any value for me.
To you.
As long as I'm educated in some capacity.
You can read, write, you can hold an intelligent conversation.
And it's like the main thing for me is giving her perspective, like giving our parents perspective. That's the main thing because you followed the rules.
Yes.
Generational wealth isn't built yet.
Which is true.
Generational curses aren't broken yet.
Yeah.
Which is true.
So how do we do that? Am I going to have to follow the same system that you followed in order to just get into the same
Can you
spot?
break that down a bit? Because I know that people are watching and they want to understand where you're going. You have the, generational...
What I mean is, okay, I've got a lot of friends that talk about having to go and study certain things because their parents want to.
Yes.
Someone that I spoke to previously said that she's in accounting and she's only in accounting because her dad wants her to be. And she's not happy. She doesn't like it.
Yes.
And I always bang on to her about just kind of going against that and letting him know.
But what does she want to do?
She's more into like beauty and fashion and stuff like that, which is perfectly fine. But it's almost like if that's stripped away from a kid and that's taken away from them, then when it comes to them actually putting 100% in what they do, they'll never do that.
So it's
and
like
they'll have you to blame. Yeah, they'll blame you at the end of the day. Their innocence and all of these things will come down to you and the fact that you've taken that away from them. If someone wants to play football, let them play football. You don't know who they could become.
Which is true.
But there's a certain level of ignorance that exists amongst our parents and the older generation that they don't see beyond what they see, if that makes sense. They only see, okay, university, doctor, lawyer, this, that.
Okay.
And they do it because of pride as
I
well.
don't think it's ignorance. And the reason why I say it's not ignorance is the fact that because we live in a society whereby a black person always has to stand out, yes? They see it that you are more respected if you have certain careers. Even though when you have it...
What's that according to though? Well,
that's according to the Bible of the...
The Bible that they don't follow.
Precisely.
But even with that, even with that, Shay being said, let's not lie. A lot of the careers that they choose have a lot of security in them, and that's without a doubt. You see, a lot of the ones when they say finances, accounting, doctor, there is a lot of security in them, and those are the ones that they've those are the ones that they've learned back home and has worked for them. Has flourished for them, sort of thing.
Yes.
Now, let's not even lie. Even within a developed world, the creative industry is twice as hard as compared to someone doing finance, business.
Who told you it's twice as hard?
No, I'm just saying because when I say twice as hard in terms of the security and job and all that kind of stuff, yes, you can have your own independent business. Like, for example, I can do hair or I can do makeup and all that kind of stuff. But in terms of the security and always having money and having that status, even if it's not the status,
It's the security once you get there, but getting there is...
Because we don't support each other as black people.
Yeah.
It's one of the stuff. Because when you start a business, and you're saying, "Oh, I'm charging you 20 quid for a jacket."
I'll talk about this.
Okay, no. I'll give it. So I'm just sort of like creating a narrative. So then you take it on. Yes. So you take it on.
Yeah, no. As you said, black people don't support black people, and that's one thing I've noticed a lot more recently. I feel like black people don't see value in black things, and the reason they don't, or they do, is there's a level of familiarity that exists amongst black people. If you've got something and you're black, let me just get a discount, give me 10%.
Oh, yeah.
Give me this, give me that. And it's like we see value in the things that aren't black. So we're more, even when it comes to clothes, we're more likely to go and put £250 on a t-shirt that is owned by a white man, as opposed to £40 on a t-shirt that is owned by a black man. Why? Because we see that as valuable. We don't see things in our community as valuable. And even when people say, I'll support you and this and that, there's a level of envy that exists, because it's like, how can you, why
am I going to support you to make it? And they don't realize that you're supporting the white man or a Chinese man. You're supporting. It's a bit like Omega Live TV. They've got like a producer. It's got another something that they do. They print out stuff. You know, mugs. You know, it does t-shirts. You know, any leaflets, magazines. Omega Live TV. They've got like their printed stuff in West Green Road. And I've forgotten the actual address, and I'll get it from producer, and then I'll tell you guys. And when he is coming to, when people come and he's giving them an estimate, the way they act and the quality that he does comparatively to the ones that he goes to is nothing near what the quality that he gives.
But that's rare.
Even the videos, you understand me?
That
is rare. Yes.
For a black person.
Yes.
For me, I feel like that is rare, because I think that's one thing that a lot of them lack, is professionalism and quality.
Yes.
There's a reason why also, on top of what Shay is saying, that, you know, they would rather go to a white person, but that's because their service is better as well.
Yes.
And even though it might not be right all the time, their service is better, the quality of product is better. They take their, like, I know that also if I go to, I don't know, maybe Zara or whatever it is, I have a complaint, I know that's going to be raised properly. I have something that if I'm wearing, I know it's going to be made to a very good standard. Not saying a black person can't do it, because I've seen them do it. You know, they can do it.
But I know when you said that, when you came to this studio, what did you guys think? You guys, that's the point.
Yeah.
Because, and then even when producer was actually doing the sound check and stuff, you guys were saying, oh wow, this is proper on point. That's what I'm saying, that Omega Live TV, with his printing and the studio, everything is quality. But the problem with black people is we don't support our own. If today somebody puts in 100 million and now he's saying, oh, I'm just not going to support, then they'll say, oh, he's a black man. What has he done? He's betrayed us.
Everyone's trying to be
But then even when it comes to the quality,
shine.
like when it comes to the quality, I feel like we need to understand that we're only just starting off as well. Like we don't have anything, we don't own anything. Black people, and one thing, black people don't want to own. All they want to do is look rich. They don't want to be rich.
Which is true.
They don't want wealth. That's
and the ones that want wealth, people envy you.
Yeah, of course. And they'll come and take it from you. They'll rob you.
That's it. They'll rob you. That's the thing.
So like, it's almost like, I'll be honest, as somebody that owns a business, it's like sometimes I look at myself like, do I even want to cater to black people anymore?
No, but the thing is, it's good that you see, it's good that no. But if you want to get your coins in, you have to cater to everybody. And once you've made your coins, then you can decide to channel it.
Black people are good consumers, bad customers. From what I've experienced, we know how to consume.
What do you do? What is your company?
SK Flavors. SK Flavors. So it caters to black people specifically, because it's West African food and Caribbean food.
Oh, okay.
And like, I love my black people, but
who would you make more money from?
White people. I'll be honest. But then it's a thing whereby the only reason being is because they're a lot more smooth with
things.
They understand it. Black people, there's a level of entitlement. When they see another,
that's it.
When I see a black
complacency.
boy, exactly. When I see a black boy that looks like me, he's like, oh, oh bro, let me get a discount. Oh bro, this and that. Oh bro,
Why
this
can't
and
you
that.
respect
But
the hustle?
it's like I see you.
Yes, that's why they do respect the
it's
hustle.
true. Because in the same breath, they'll take their same money and go to somewhere like Novikov, Gauchos, all these places that are owned by not black people. But when
Or
it comes
caravans.
to exactly, so it's like for me, I'll be honest. I remember saying this to my friend the other day. I'm just tired. Like I don't even know whether I want to cater to our people anymore.
With
because-
me, I believe that do you, and once you've got to that stage, because the thing is cater to everybody.
Yes.
And the thing is, one thing that I've realized is because people travel, globalization, you see that other ethnic people eat our African food. Do you understand me? The only thing is you make it a little bit less spicy. So there's things that the people that they, now because of dietary stuff, you look
Right.
at the dietary stuff, they still like flavor. So you do things, and the people that they want the spicy stuff, then you let them moderate and put a deposit down.
Exactly.
You see, so the thing is, when you do it that way, then you are sort of like still working on your hustle, because business is not about one person. Because if a white person opens a shop,
100%. Yeah.
if a white person opens a shop, what does he do?
Yeah.
He opens it for everybody. Even though he don't respect you, the black man, he still wants your money.
But you know, sorry,
ahead.
I was just going to say, but there's some
Yeah.
people that have businesses that just want to strictly cater to black people because they feel like
The
they
loyalty
want to
thing
rule
don't
out
work.
everyone else,
Doesn't work.
and that they've done
Because
that.
black people
for
aren't
them
loyal.
for-
We're not loyal.
I mean, you need the other people, to be honest. To have that better expansion, for it to reach to the height that it needs to, you need those people. I would have just wished, though, that from the beginning, though, that we would just do better in terms of, you know, supporting
Support.
people. The support is really what we need. If
That's
we support
it,
each
that's it,
other,
that's it,
we'll reach
that's
greater
it,
heights.
But
that's
see,
You
like,
that's the thing.
I'm
for
here
me.
for all of that support and stuff like that. I'll be honest, I'm here for it. However, I'll be honest, I don't want to be pessimistic and say whatnot. I want to be optimistic, but I've lost hope just because it's like, if I'm honest, yeah, we want to support each other. We talk so much about supporting each other. Black-owned businesses, Black History Month, Black this, Black that.
Black power.
But when it comes down to it, we don't put our money where our
Our
mouth
mouth
is.
is. No.
We don't buy black cars. Mercedes is not a black-owned business.
No.
BMW is not black-owned.
No.
Gauchos isn't black-owned.
No.
Novikov isn't black-owned.
No.
When it comes to properties, we're gonna go put our money in.
Then rent out.
Do you know what I mean? Like there's nothing. We don't own
Is it,
it.
and
but
this
that-
is right.
And we're not proud to pay. And that's one thing that I remember. That's why I really like Nipsey Hussle, because
Yeah, Nipsey Hussle,
he made
yeah.
he made
Oh, you
like
know Nipsey Hussle?
he made
Yeah,
this
no,
thing
of course
called.
I know who he is. Damn, bro, how do you think I am?
But
There
yeah,
you go.
Like he made this thing called Proud to Pay, which I wanted to incorporate in the UK. But I'm thinking, are my people
was
proud
that?
to pay?
Pay what?
Like it's almost like it's like a system that
Yeah.
almost encourages our community to
Yeah.
put money in our community.
Yes.
But it's like, are we really proud to pay? Are black people
He
proud
was
to
so
pay?
proud to pay. It's a black man that killed him. So how do we do this?
You see what I mean, though? You see,
I
that goes
know.
back to my topic of
Yes.
not supporting that narrative
Yes.
and not creating that narrative. You see what I'm trying to say?
But see-
because you're not going to now turn around and say that,
I could question you on that, because
how?
it's like when it no, don't get it twisted. I don't support another black man killing another black man, but why is it that when another white man kills another white man, when a white man kills his white girlfriend, stabs her to death,
Yeah,
those narratives are not pushed. They're not pushed out there.
yeah.
But okay, can
Do you
I
get
say
what I mean?
something?
But when it's a black man,
They highlight it.
it's highlighted. It's on the news. It's
But
everywhere.
the thing is that, yeah, that's
I'm
true.
not supporting whether like the crime that
We even
exists.
thank God it's on the news. Let everyone see what they're doing. I thank God that they're
Thank God
publishing
what?
it. I thank God that it's on the news.
Thank God
Wait, no,
But
that
then,
news.
but then what about our counterparts though? What about our white counterparts? Why is it that
With me-
we're on the news and
No.
they're
What I'm
Okay.
trying to say is that,
Go on.
like, yeah, I like the fact that it's been published so that everyone kind of knows what is actually going on
Yeah.
with us. Like,
But
us
it's
as
been
people.
going on. Has it changed?
No, but then I'm trying to say that there was a time to where these things were never on the TV. Like, they were just never, when people were getting killed, when people were getting sexually assaulted, like this child Q thing, everything,
Yeah,
these things
I
were
agree,
never
I agree.
on the TV. So I'm thankful that we're in a time to
But
where
is
we
it-
can even see some of that stuff
But
and relate to it. Do you see what I'm trying
can
to
I ask
say?
a question though?
Yeah.
Go on.
What's the motive behind it? Is the motive
The
behind it
motive
to
It's probably to degrade us. But
Yes,
then,
of
it's probably to degrade us, but that's why we have to start using sense as well. you know how to move accordingly.
But you see, and this is where we still play into the narrative, like where you said that why don't we look at what we do that is negative and take it out?
Yeah.
And this is where I say it's the parents.
Yeah.
Because if my child goes and steals something, or some of the kids when they're doing drugs and it brings the money home and the parents are benefiting from it.
Ha.
You get what I mean
Parents
though?
have to listen, though.
Yeah.
You have to listen. Oh.
Hey,
Yeah.
It's
You
a real
see?
thing. It's a real thing. It starts from the parents. And this is why we need more people like you to have conversations with parents like this. The thing is, I don't even know if some parents even know where to locate and find some of this stuff. Too busy working around the clock, or don't have any time to even
Interact with
their kids on a level to where they can have
a
that
conversation,
understanding and
exactly.
have that room for,
and
room for that
understand why
conversation.
their children are going through what they're going
Can
through.
I ask you a
Exactly.
question though? Because obviously we say parents as well, but what about those parents that aren't in support? Because if we look at, I don't know whether you watch Top Boy, but if we look at the example there, a parent wasn't in support of what her child was doing.
Yes.
But her child was still going against the grain and just doing what he wanted to do.
That's it. Because the system is in a way that, if you smack your child, you the parent, you're going to be prosecuted.
But even if you smack your child will still rebel against you. There's a lot of kids out here that have been taken back to Africa, brought back here, come back a lot worse.
They come worse, yeah. When they go back home,
So all these
they come
different
back
things,
worse.
like sometimes, if I'm honest, don't get twisted, a lot of parents need to take accountability.
Which is true.
Of course. But what about for those who have taken accountability and blame themselves, but giving it, because I know someone that has given their child everything,
yeah.
and this child is now in prison for life.
But that is the point. You don't give your child everything. You see, the thing is, there's a difference
Yeah.
between giving what the kid needs and what a kid wants. When you give a kid what they want, they don't really value. But when it's what they need, so long as I'm giving you shelter, making sure that you go to work. You see, I remember when my son was going, "Oh, Mom, I'm getting a degree and it's for you." I go, "Babes, you ain't. Because I got my own degree and I've got my own master's. So you're doing it for you." You see, the thing is, giving your kid a necessity is very, very different for when the kid says, "Oh, I want a car," or "I want £100 trainers," and you're not working for it. You're not giving your kid value. So that is what I'm saying, that sometimes you have to look at what you give your child.
But for what about those parents who do give their kids like the things that they need and it's not just the other stuff. It's they've actually catered to their kids' needs and they've tried to be there, but their kid still goes against that. What about those parents? What do they do?
That's kind of like 2 1/2 dozen. How do you regulate? You see, that's what I'm saying. It's kind of like, it's not every stroke that works for every child.
Yeah.
You see, but at the end of the day, when you look at now some of the things that go on, it's more the African society. When we first came here, we had our culture. Our parents, it's like you mention, you're from Niger or you're Ghanaian, you had this pride. No, you mention a Ghanaian kid and his knife and gun crime. When you see them, you don't see them as somebody of prestige.
proud of where
It's
they come
kind of
from.
like, yes,
Yeah.
you see, because when they're talking about like Cameroon and all that stuff, you see, sometimes you're looking at it that how come?
Negative connotation.
100%.
Is what is attached to it. And going off what you're saying, not every child is going to be able to, how can I say?
Assimilate or try and toe the line.
Exactly. And sometimes the problem is really with the individual. There could be like needs that child
That child
needs
is not getting,
further
yeah.
than what the parent can give. I don't know if that could be therapy. I don't know if that could
That's
be...
the point, and we
maybe
don't
they
do
have
therapy.
something and a diagnosis or whatever
Yes.
it is. There could be something that maybe because the parent, the lack of information, I wouldn't even say ignorance, but not understanding that far that there could be something wrong with my child and taking
Yes.
it to that place
That's it.
could also be
Like
what the
mental
issue is.
health.
But
Mental health. You
see
see what I'm trying to say?
Don't get twisted. I agree with all these things. But if I'm honest, I'm giving different
Yeah, you're playing the
perspectives, 'cause
devil's advocate. Yeah.
some kids genuinely just want to be bad kids.
That's
Yeah.
it.
You know, some kids genuinely, they've actually had a
Actually,
good upbringing
yes.
and everything. But
Yeah.
some kids, maybe
That-
for social status or whatnot, some kids just want to be bad.
Or they want to be
It's
the
woven
golden
into
child.
yeah.
The child that the parent has to focus on a lot more than
So
everyone
attention
else.
seeking.
Yeah.
Attention seeking.
So, like-
but that still, I still feel like that comes from somewhere. I still feel like that
No,
comes from...
it doesn't. Some kids are just selfish. If I'm honest, I'll be real. Like, some kids just want to be bad. Like,
Yes.
you could have had 2 kids, boy and a girl,
Yes.
and you've given them both the same type of love.
Yes.
The girl goes off to do her thing. She's independent. She uses, she nurtures that love and she appreciates that love. The son now, he's like, oh yeah, the love is nice and that, but
I still want to be a bit.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I see. He might see. It might be something like this. He might see someone else that is rebellious and someone that's bad that gets attention from girls, for example, or gets respect from guys. He might just look at that and be like, oh, I want to be like that, knowing that he comes from a place of love.
Okay, we've got 5 more minutes. Yeah, I want you guys to give, if people want to get in contact with you, but before people get in contact with you, I want you guys to give a shout out to Omega Live TV, because they're the ones that give us this platform. And with me, that's why I'm saying that, you know what, my producer Joe is the dancer. I just put my hands out to them, because anybody that knows me knows that I say the truth. So now I want you guys to give a shout out and then tell us who you are and how we can find you through Instagram, anything.
Ladies first.
No, don't try it.
They said don't try it, so Shay,
You
go.
can go.
Obviously, guys, this is Omega Live, Omega TV.
Omega Live TV, yes?
Yeah, Omega Live TV. Check it out. You know, it's blessed and it has anointing over it, the Alpha and Omega.
100%, 100%.
Yeah, you can find me on Downtown D1 on Instagram. Make sure you check out the Cake and Custard Show. Follow my co-host, Zaki Christina, and I hope you're blessed.
So you didn't say anything?
No, I am going to say something. First
Yeah.
of all, I want to say, Auntie, thank you very much for this this opportunity.
That's
and being
fantastic.
part of the team. Thank you very much for the team.
Yes.
For giving us this opportunity as well. Like, we really do appreciate it. Yeah, my name is Zaki. You can find me on socials at Zaki Christina. Also follow the Cake and Custard Show. You know, we'll have more for you. So we've got season 3
Yes.
coming out very soon.
Yes, and then
all that
if
good
we're
stuff.
lucky and we're able to twist producers, you lot will be coming here to be using it to reach out to the youth as well.
Yeah.
But thank you.
You know
though.
what?
Thank you for
But
even
thank
giving
you
us a
so
voice.
much
Yeah.
for tuning in, and please share. I want to thank my producer always again. And you guys have a lovely evening, and share, and thank you for being with us. Have a lovely evening, and we're out. Peace.
Yes.
Hey.